Good morning, everybody. This is Carrie, and I called the POI number to confirm that the USPS form that has been circulating around that lists zip codes but not any cities. So what I did was I called the POI number to confirm that if your zip code's within the boundaries, you are able to get birds. So I am going to play this recording that will basically cover all of us if we get birds. I did speak with a gal named Destiny at cdfa hotline number. She was very nice. She did answer all my questions. And it looks like we got some really great news. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. And what I did was I recorded off another device, so I'm doing it on a live so you guys can all hear it. So here we go.
Animal Health, this is Destiny.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. I have a question for you about the lift of the quarantine.
Okay.
I saw your statement from the USPS that's stating that as of June 1st, people can order birds or get birds if they choose.
Correct.
Now, the thing I have a question for you on the memo that was put out, it lists San Diego, LA, Santa Ana, but it doesn't list Riverside, and it doesn't list San Bernardino, which I live in the Riverside area, but my zip code falls under your zip codes for the shipping. So can you confirm that even though our city is not listed on there, but the zip codes qualify, are we free to get birds in Riverside?
You would actually have to call the Postal Service regarding that specific question, just because as far as we're concerned, once the quarantine is lifted, it does apply to all the counties that it affected, so San Bernardino, Riverside, and Los Angeles. However, the shipping companies may have their own policies on when they may feel comfortable shipping to those areas.
Okay. I know that part was okay because the zip code starts at like 90,000 and goes to like 93.99. So for many of us in Riverside, we're at like 92570. Some other zip codes that are included in that. But I was only confused because it did list a few of what you guys refer to as districts, but Riverside and San Bernardino were not included. So
correct, right? Okay. I did notice that. So my understanding is that it may be that the shipping companies again just don't feel comfortable quite yet shipping to those districts as of yet. But again, I would give them a call and double check with them just to make sure that is how they're continuing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like myself have no interest in actually ordering, birds online from other areas. But locally, the people that have chicks and birds and they would like to sell them, I just want to make sure I'm not going to be in any trouble or breaking quarantine by going out and purchasing birds, say, from a distant independent, small person, not a business or anything. And I just don't want to know that, I'm going to get in some trouble. So with that being said, since the zip codes have been released, my zip code is in that. As of June 1st, I can go get some birds.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Again, the only issue you might come across at that point would be the shipping companies. But beginning as of right now, we are on track to have it released June 1st. So after that point, it should be fine to go ahead, or it will be fine to go ahead and purchase birds.
Okay, cool. That's that's good to know. Secondly, I have seen a resident that received a letter from you guys, and they say that everybody's supposed to get a letter to prove that. I don't know if people actually, everybody will get a letter, or we're just going to go off of a general post from you guys?
No, I don't believe that everybody will get a letter. If your property has received an individual quarantine, which meaning essentially that you were given the carbon copy, the yellow copy of the quarantine, and you have not received a release letter, then in those cases you would be receiving a letter. However, if you were given the general regional quarantine, then no letter would be needed. At that point, they would just be awaiting the announcement.
Okay. Now, my third, and I'm sorry to bother you, my third question is
No worries.
Will you guys, because there was a podcast a while ago where they claimed they were going to be leaving outreach people behind. So, me being an independent, just backyard, fresh eggs, that's it. Are you guys still going to make us all keep testing?
That I don't know. I understand that they are, I believe they are working on outreach to be able to, I believe possibly just kind of maybe get volunteers for testing to try and prevent an outbreak in the future, but I really don't know specifics about that program.
Okay.
So it's still to be announced.
Okay, so that's in the works. Because, I don't know how long you've been with the company, but, having police and all these people show up for testing and cutting gates and just all this really, really crazy, unnecessary stuff. Please don't take this wrong, but, I'm not interested in doing any of that sort of thing. I feel like CDFA hasn't been real good to a lot of people, and I don't want any part of that. So I just want to know that I legally can get birds. Of course, if something came down sick, I would absolutely call. But assuming my birds are all healthy and fine and good, I am not interested in having the teams in those, white chemical suits showing up at my door and demanding to test or inventory or whatever the heck else they do. I just would like to get some birds and hopefully just be left alone. If they're sick, I'll phone you or phone my vet.
Okay.
So
that's fine. Again, I really don't know the specifics about how that's going to work in the future. But right, once the quarantine is released, you are free to go ahead and get birds or purchase birds.
Okay. Well, cool to know that. And you might want to tell your upper management people, because I'm seeing a lot of posts from people, and people seem to be confused because it lists the districts that are released, but on those districts, what's real strange is they never put Riverside or San Bernardino.
Right.
So, okay. Well, my zip code meets the criteria for shipping, so like I said, I probably won't have anything shipped. I would rather just purchase from my, local community, because, with COVID, everybody's been hit so hard that a few extra bucks will help people out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's
okay.
very nice.
All right, and your name is
Destiny?
Destiny. Okay. Well, I appreciate your, answering my questions, and
absolutely, my pleasure.
Hopefully this will all be done and over, and we'll all be good.
Yes, hopefully we're getting there. We're almost there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, you're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear all of that, because I did it off a second device and recorded it. So I have confirmed with Destiny at the CDFA POI number that basically anybody in those zip codes as of June 1st, you are able to get birds, whether that be shipping, whether that be from an independent person, which me personally, I would prefer to go with the individual person and help out those folks, because the COVID's really taken a big impact on people. And these same people that had birds
Obviously, all these months they've had to feed them, care for them, and have not been able to sell anything. So, obviously it's costed a lot of them any money. My purpose of this call was to clarify that Riverside and San Bernardino, with the zip codes meeting the criteria, that we can all have birds without government intervention. Now, she did mention that they may still continue testing different people, but there has been no set protocol of who will get tested and if they will show up. I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage everyone, if you have birds and cdfa shows up, I personally do not recommend answering any questions, opening my gate to any strangers. I do not trust them. They have pulled a lot of very shady, illegal activities. This girl on the line, Destiny, was very pleasant, but I'm going to save this video on YouTube, because what this video does is it's going to protect all of you guys. Whoever wants to get birds that's in the 90,000 to the 93, 99 zip code. So by going off of what she said, June 1st, we can all go get birds. Now, again, the outreach to me is a bit concerning because, as I mentioned months ago, I kind of figured based off of their contracts, the summer heat, the heat will kill the viruses. So we really shouldn't have it. Now, what my fear is, and please do not become paranoid, but the mothership contract runs through December. I need to look up that government website. It's a big pain in the butt, but you got to go through a bunch of contracts to see if there has been any extension on the mothership, because then we will know. And it wouldn't be a real shocker to me if they surface in the winter months saying, oh, well, we have a positive and here we go. And all those who comply with their testing, they will have a list of your name and your address. So maybe they'll visit, maybe they won't. She did mention, she didn't seem to have a lot to say if they're going to come back and restock people and come on in and do whatever they do. Again, I will remind you, these people do not have any legal right to just enter your property unless you are served with a warrant. You do not have to open your gates to anybody. I strongly encourage that you never, under any circumstances, tell these people anything. Because what has happened to me and my birds, and it's been almost a year now, or actually a little over a year, my family and I still struggle quite a bit with this because our birds were our family. We loved our birds. They were well taken care of. They were loved by the family. They all had their own kid. And I just don't trust them. I'm sorry. But what we have learned and what we need to do for all of our community and fellow bird owners, and once again, please don't get distracted by, well, your bird is for this and your bird's for that, because right now, it's most important we stick together as a community and watch out for one another. So as this quarantine lifts, I am going to open up this Save Our Birds page, which we have a lot of us in here, 6,500 people strong. There is some very knowledgeable people on here that can explain MPI procedures. I will also be allowing people to sell on the page. They can sell. However, what you want to remember is with the selling on Craigslist, they do have some issues on Facebook as far as selling birds because of no animal sales. So those of you who would like to try some of your birds, and I know you guys have all been, feeding and housing and not seen a nickel, so hardships, are definitely there. So with that being said, I would like to be able to, if possible, and I'm not going to demand this from anybody, but a lot of us did lose birds, and it has been very devastating. I don't know if we have anybody in the financial position that is willing to help those who had their birds killed try to restock. I think it would be a super awesome idea if that can happen, because in my opinion, my birds were sacrificed for the better of many of you, and I would like to think they didn't die in vain, and because of them other birds were saved. And it's a tough pill to swallow. So any of you guys that are local into the San Bernardino, Riverside, Meade, Norco, Nuevo, Romo Land, and I'm sure I'm missing a few places. Oh, Jurupa, Meade. If any of you folks, and I don't know if you can write it off as a donation or something, but I would like to see those who had their birds killed, maybe with a little help, them to restock. It would just be a cool thing to do. It might help in the healing for many of us and our children, but I can't guarantee that. So what I want you to know is I'm going to put this video on YouTube, so it will cover all of you. So whoever gets birds within those zip codes and they try to screw with you or try to come back and do something shady, you're just going to pop that video out and say, hey, according to Destiny, on this time and date, we were told we are all welcome to get birds. And again, like I said, donations would be super cool for those that have lost their birds, that with COVID are suffering, anxiety, depression, just a lot of really crazy stuff in the world right now. What I will also ask is, being the group we are, and we have all been very educated and learned a lot of their dealings from what they did to my birds and a few others. So again, never answer questions, and do not open your gates to anybody that you don't know or that you don't feel comfortable with, because there is scammers out there. I don't want to see somebody getting hurt. I'm going to try to get a list today together of who lost what. And hopefully some people can chime in, and if they're willing, I think it would be a very nice gesture, because myself, and I know Gina and Frank, and there's been a slew of people who have literally been terrorized and traumatized by our government. And just maybe, not that we can ever replace our pets. Oh, I'm gonna end up start crying. Not that we can replace any of our pets, because it's just not possible. We can't erase what they did to us. There was never any mental health counseling service offered. And on the good side of it, I haven't posted it quite yet because I have to get everybody served. But on the good side of this, I worked for probably about 2 months putting together my federal tort claim. Many people said I was dumb and it'll get dismissed. wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sorry, I can't go unchecked. I mean, you idiots raided my home. You threatened my minor children with guns. Chad Bianco didn't give a shit. He doesn't care. Melissa Melendez didn't give a shit. She doesn't care. Senator Stone didn't give a shit. He doesn't care. The only one official that actually seemed to care was Mayor Bergstrom out of Jurupa. The one person that did, and I kid you not, I probably sent out 50 emails a night to get help. So, that's where we are. Save this tape on YouTube in case they show up at your door. The way Destiny mentioned it is they still want to leave their testers, aka stalkers, to take inventory of what you have. So the next go around, they will know right where to hit. So again, this is imperative. You don't speak to these people. You can plead the fifth and not self-incriminate yourself, and you don't have to answer a darn thing. The only thing you are to do is to present your identification. They may give you some ridiculous site, and that would be it. Speaking of sites, my initial court date was March. That got canceled. Then it was April. That got canceled. I did have an upcoming date on May 27th, which was like 2 days, but said the court was closed, so why show up if they're closed? So for my personal tickets, my new court date is June 15. So I'm going to present my case and see where it goes. Once I get these people served, I'm going to post the complaint that I drafted, and that way you can kind of see what's going on. I assure you, the amount of constitutional rights, civil liberties, and federal statutes have not been followed. And I've got everything very, very, very well documented that it wasn't followed. So these unskilled people that came in and terrorized us and freaked our kids out and slaughtered our healthy pets, I'm not ready to let go of it yet. They stole a piece of my heart, and I need it back. I don't know that I can replace any of my birds, but I don't know. Some of it might just be a healing situation. I don't know. As of now, I still have yet to see any warrants, so that's a good thing. But on the good news, like I said, June 1st, everybody's good to go per Destiny at cdfa. If anybody can donate, please do and help these people out, because it's really mentally very, very hard what they did. Maybe just a few chicks or a few little birds can try to help people to heal. So that's about it for today. We are allowed to get birds June 1st. Save this tape in case they come back and change their story. Again, I'm going to open this page for bird-related questions, opinions. Understand we are not veterinarians, so veterinary type questions might not be able to be answered. Under no circumstances, don't fight with each other. If you don't like somebody, just block them. We don't need any more hate. We got plenty. So the page will be open to, I know a lot of people right now would like to sell stuff. You're welcome to post anything you can or you like to sell. Just be cognizant of how you write it so it doesn't get deleted by Facebook. So that's that. The other thing, we simply can't trust these people, and the mothership is valid till December. So what we sure don't want to happen is have some random positive circus in the cold weather and, oh poof, we have another positive. I'm going to kill your birds. Me personally, if I see these people anywhere near my home, my family, my children, calling my husband's work, or any of the above, I will make plans that I will never fall into their evil, dishonest trap ever again. Me personally, I'm excited to get eggs and have the birds for companionship. There is a part of me that is a little fearful. They know who I am. They stalk me left and right. They have used my videos as part of their training their people, which these people should be trained before they ever showed up and killed anything. And once again, I did file a federal complaint against all of them. And surprisingly enough, the judge took it. I do have a case number. What's a little strange is they're sending me to downtown LA federal building. But that's okay because it is the way it is. And I'm not a person who just rolls over. I will not bow to these people. If they want to take me out, well, I'm going down on my 2 feet. I will never bow to this dirtiness and corruption and any of the above. And I'm certainly not okay with just killing healthy pets and pets that belong to our veterans, that belong to me, my children. There's a few Vietnam vets who have had their slocks viciously attacked. So what we need to do is by opening the page to, I don't know, anything related, and it doesn't even have to be just birds, but anything related to birds. And if anybody sees CDFA trucks or people or USDA or they've asked you to test, please post it because they don't have any oversight. We're it. So we need to watch out for each other in their communities because if they turn this shit around, they decide to go on some mass slaughter fest come cold weather, we want to be one step ahead of their shady crap as far as I'm concerned. Again, I don't trust any of them. I swear every time LJ speaks, it's like another lie. Nobody has a clue what's going on. Her false promises that have been going on since May 2018. I posted the contracts that were signed back then with my county supervisors who claim they knew nothing about it when we showed up. And you know what? Excuse my language. I'm calling bullshit because I have the email where county board supervisors approved the disposal for this show at the whopping price tag of $500,000. So I personally would not go anywhere that you have to show an ID to buy food. Pay in cash. Do not use your debit card because what you want to do is try to stay under the radar, not above it. Now I'm fully on the radar, so who knows? I might be an example or made example of again. But this time, no, I have other alternatives. I'm not going to let my birds be slaughtered in the sake of nothing. Now that this is lifted, one thing that I kind of would like people to do, if possible, is message me and let me know if your birds made it. Because I would like to think that because of Dolores and her friends and me being, quite frankly, a pain in the ass, and I don't back down, I very well could be the next target. And I don't want a positive to show up in October and we start this whole shit show again. So, as I say, you are only free to do what the government says you can. And that's not freedom. And secondly, the warrants haven't found one. Just don't answer any questions. Don't open up your door. Just ignore them. they've been pretty shitty to a lot of people. Maybe they got better at some point, but all in all, they've been pretty crappy. So, and the lies that we have caught are so outrageous. And once I get my party served for the lawsuit, which I'm hoping it was going to be this week, but maybe next week, because everything with COVID has to be done on via email. So again, if you see any of these cdfa fools, the CHP corrupt guys that babysit him, the Riverside deputies, Chad Bianco, who also babysit him. And keep in mind, none of these people give two shits about you. They really don't. We saw firsthand what happened to me, and I've never had any criminal activity. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a pot smoker. I didn't do anything illegal, but if you watch that first video, the long one, which I still haven't been able to watch because I'm just too mentally damaged right now. I know there was a few people that mentioned helping out before, and helping out especially with my son and Dolores. And a few folks have mentioned in the past they would like to donate a nice turkey for my boy. And I think he'd be pretty happy about that. So I'm going to cut this off short, but please understand, do not let your guard down. Post immediately on here or reach out to one of us, Allie or Gina or Jennifer Schneider or whoever. Feel free to reach out to them if you see these CDFA people so we can get it out there, because here's the deal. We as a community have to stick together. We are all average people. We are not well-connected people. And most of them aren't rich. So we need to babysit and police them, because obviously they don't. So that is the situation. You're welcome to share this video with whoever you'd like. Even the hater groups, the end hater groups, half the world thinks I'm a complete nut and I overreacted and blah, 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 blah. Which, what I put back to these people is reversing that. How would you feel if you've done nothing wrong, your 4 minor children, $1,000 to get those birds tested, they were not sick in any way, shape, or form, I can prove it, and the way they came in and harassed my children and gave me cites and 4 raids, I mean, gee, how wonderful is that? So again, if you do sell your birds or your chicks, I would, if it was me, I would recommend that I will not take somebody's name for anything, because I'm not a snitch. So if you're selling out of your home just kind of independently, watch your butt on that, because they do watch Craigslist, and nothing would be more shocking if they decide to raid homes, and that's the last thing you want. The government is very happy to look the other way. Don't give them a reason to look at you. If you do get a sick bird, that does not mean you have Newcastle. It could just be the bird's day to go. You will lose birds. Their life expectancy is short. But that doesn't mean a Newcastle. But with these scammers and LJ, I'm sure they'll whip it up as it is. So that's what I wanted to get across to everybody. I hope you could hear on the speakerphone what Destiny said. But again, June 1, we are able to have birds. Keep your biosecurity tight. I don't know if the chicken chockers will be by, but just let the government look some other way. They can go worry about other problems. You know what? Maybe they need to worry about LJ and her delivery of eggs in the state vehicle. And the fact that she has ordered all of these inhumane killings. And a lot of this is going to be seen in my federal complaint, because I've addressed all this stuff. Now, where it goes, I don't know. But if I don't try, I'll never know. And once again, this isn't just for me. This is for all of you bird people. And you need to be aware of your rights. And you need not be afraid of these people. Let them, pull, I don't know, let them pull citations out of the butt. They can go cite each other for all I'm concerned. I don't care. Hell, I got tickets. I haven't even had birds. So, again, if you do have any of that and you need any kind of, I'm not an attorney, but I can give you advice, and that's about it. So just try to be careful. Feed stores, I would pay with cash. And if you do get a sick bird, I know we've got a couple vets on the page. Perhaps they would be willing to do a home check or check on a bird that's sick. Because the last thing you want to do is call these fools and have them show up in even more numbers, which we don't want that. So, in some strange way, congratulations. We made it. A lot of heartache, a lot of unnecessary deaths, a lot of people traumatized. A lot of people have, for some unknown reason, came up with stress-induced problems. So that's why we got to watch out. So same rule applies. If you see folios in any area, post it immediately so the rest of us will know. I can't be in one place at all the times. Another thing I think would be kind of a cool gesture, those who can sell chicks, if you are unable to donate to those people who lost, that's okay, I understand. But perhaps for the bird massacre victims, maybe a discounted price or something so that it maybe can offset the food or something. But it's a pay it forward. Help the others. That's kind of what I'm asking. So again, this page was started totally by accident. I never meant for any of this to happen, nor did I want it to happen. If I could roll back time, I would have gotten those birds out of here because they didn't deserve what they got. So I'm challenging in federal court, and where the chips may fall, that's where they fall. I'll keep everybody posted on the court date so that if anybody would like to attend, that would be great, because the power of one isn't a whole lot, but the power of many speaks volumes. So just want to give an update on this. And yes, you can get birds June 1st. So good for us. It's about time. And for CDFA and Riverside and CHP, you idiots took a piece of my heart that day. You screwed up my kids. You threatened to shoot my son. And you guys have done damage that isn't fixable. I mean, you show up at my house with like $5 million. Yeah, that'd be nice. Pay my bills. But the reality is, I can't unsee what I saw. I can't forget what I saw. The sounds of them suffocating, the broken necks and legs, my horses running amok. And I'm not a criminal. Now, that first warrant, I posted it in albums. What you will notice on that first form, and what Chad Evil Parker told me that day, because that was a criminal warrant, that I am violating an array of crimes. I simply asked, okay, what crimes am I committing? Because I didn't do anything wrong. To this day, Riverside County Sheriff refused to let me exercise my rights. They have nothing on paperwork that even exists, so it's like they weren't even here. And again, I was never told what the crime was I committed, but if you look at the first box, he's got me listed down to basically a charge that is basically pretty much bullshit. And there was no explanation. I was threatened by Lieutenant King that I had to sign a ticket, and so I did. So you can't put anything past these people, so we gotta police the crap out of them. If you see them in your neighborhood, shoot a screenshot, shoot a video. If you don't want to put your name out there, send it to one of us girls, and we'll make sure we put it there. But we have got to babysit these people, keep them in check, and watch out for each other, and not allow the kill of anything not sick, in addition to the fact of the way they did it. Rips in the suits, gun attended, warrants are sealed. I mean, I never in my imagined dreams that this is even something that could happen. But it did, and they hit me and my family pretty hard. I don't know if any other families had all the raids, but I sure did. So, ladies and gentlemen, do what you can. Take some inventory, because I can bet bottom dollar that June 1st, which is just a couple days away, it would really help people out. And it's just the right thing to do. Pay it forward, you know. We got enough evil. We got enough crazies in the world. Officials that don't care. Highway Patrol doesn't care. Chad Bianco only hides, and he surfaces, cut ribbons, and now he's peddling Girl Scout cookies. He has refuted any media attention on this, which is weird because the dude's so vain. He loves taking selfies of himself. So can't trust them either. But anyway, enough babbling. That's where we stand. So yes, there should be no more confusion on that post office order. And at least we can all try to heal. I've really met some nice people, and that's a good thing. But it still doesn't make me forget what they did. And I don't even know how I'm supposed to do that. Because this chicken thing has caused absolute turmoil in my home. Between kids are upset, calling my spouse's job, $800 worth of tickets, the damage on the gate, the damage on his old boat. I mean, the list goes long. But hang in there, and let's try to help everybody out. So if you want to make a post and figure out what you have and what you're able to part with, I think that would be greatly appreciated to many people, to just help them heal and get their own little stock. So, peace out, everybody, and let's try to be kind to each other. I know the game birds and some people have an issue that they don't believe that activity is correct. I personally don't agree that it's correct either. I don't fight. I don't breed. I don't do anything. But right now, all bird owners, I don't care what kind of bird you have, we are all subject to some pretty inhumane things. So watch out for your neighbors. If there's weird cars, go into Elbum. Very simple to match the plates to see if it's them. She did mention that they're trying to figure out something about consensual testing. And I don't want my birds tested. If my birds are sick, I'll call my vet. Hell, I guess I could call them, but pretty unlikely there because I don't really have any kind words to say. So post your name, what you had slaughtered, and we'll see if we can try to get everybody back on course and have some normalcy and some fun in life and enjoy our birds, enjoy our eggs, and all the above. I did ask because that was a postal service thing, I did ask if this was only for birds being shipped, and she said no, it is not. So if John Doe around the corner has some birds for sale, you are able to get those birds if you choose. And anyway, I'm very tired, and I'm going back to bed, I think, for a nap. But I wanted to update you folks and get the clarity of this lift at this point, because LJ clearly lies. I think she makes up just makes up as she goes along. But it's really difficult to follow, and I sure as heck don't want anybody else arrested or cited or birds killed or anything for that matter. So peace out, guys. I'll be in contact with you later. And that's about it for now. So have a good day. I will let everybody know more as I can, or as it's posted by them. And why is the idiot LJ not making a public announcement on this? Well, hell if I know. Maybe she can't stop lying and they just thought she should stay in her office or something, because she lies about everything. So maybe that's the reason. I'm not fully sure of why she hasn't, and she loves her little YouTube to look at herself. Her egg farms went untouched. How funny is that? It was just the rest of us in the lower income areas that have completely targeted the elderly, the disabled, the non-English speakers, persons with disability. And I'll tell you, they did a number, and when I get this into federal court and I have a case, I am going to fight till the very, very, very end. And I will never bow to these people. If they gotta take me out, then take me out. But I'm going on 2 feet. I don't roll like that. So, I'm going to save the video, post it, put it on YouTube. So if you guys get your birds, this is your CYA. Okay, I know people don't like cuss words. Cover your ass. This video will do just that by claiming from Destiny, June 1, we can all get birds. And if they try to screw with us more, because I'm actually getting very good at writing federal complaints, if they continue to screw with anybody, and again, you are willing to follow through with the arrest, with whatever the case may be, I need to have you do that, because I can't babysit and I can't speak on behalf of other people, and I am not an attorney, but I'll fight like hell to make this stop. I will. And I guess that's about it from now. But I hope everybody's being safe with COVID. And let's all get our birds back, It would sure be nice and help to heal. All right, guys. I will go ahead and post this on a YouTube. Save it, because if these idiots come jack you up, totally illegal with their no warrants and cutting gates, totally illegal. But if we don't call them on these errors, they will continue. I mean, hell, as much time I spent on this, I think CDA actually should give me a job and pay me for all the work I've done. I assure you, in my federal complaint, there's things in there that they don't even know, because they wing the shit as they go. They're just corrupt people. Do not buy into their bullying and bullying techniques to basically scare people into compliance. That's not about police work. That's about a bunch of jerks. And we all have to bond together on this sort of thing. And again, I ask, please, 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 if you see them anywhere, post it immediately so we know where they are. I'm going to continuously drop by Mothership to see if they packed up and left. And hopefully they did, because like in my world, I never want to see one of these idiots again. They're all dirty. So that is where we're at, and I'm going to hang up. Hope you all have a really wonderful day, and let's stand together as a community and help each other out. Even if you, give them to people, or even if it's a minimal charge, people need to heal. And CDFA has never bothered to file or allow any mental health care, counseling service, or any of the above, which goes to show the lack of empathy they have. Not only how they killed my birds, and the snapping necks and breaking legs and the half suffocating, and that day with Dolores, when I wanted her to run, I clipped her wings. She had no way to escape. I told the kids it would never happen. And what this does is makes me a liar. The police services that have helped, well, they can kind of kiss off all their community support. And, we need new officials to actually give a shit about the people. And it sure as hell isn't the people in office now. So, that's my day so far. And I will talk to everybody later. Again, any questions, just go on the page, ask one of the girls. I'm going to write up a thing right now that I'm going to open this whole group up to sales. And if there's any police-related activity or use of force, you're more than welcome to put it on the page, because our following group has really grown. So let's try to make good out of something that was very tragic, that my family and I really did pay the price. So I don't want that to happen to you guys. So, well, now I'm getting teary-eyed, so I guess I better not think about that. I'm actually going to kind of start looking for some turkeys for my boy, because he, out of all of them, seemed to take this the hardest. So if anybody has a really cool, docile turkey, hopefully a female, because I understand the means can be a little bit grumpy, I really appreciate it, because, wow, $6,000 later in court, money's tight, and with COVID, all the overtime got shut down. So, the couple days a week we work to have the extras and whatnot, we haven't been able to have. So, PM me if you have any questions. You can do it under the Sally Long profile or the Carrie Lane profile. Either one is fine. Let's stick together and show them that we're better than them. And we did say 14 flocks, and for that I'm happy that there was 14 people that didn't have to go through what I did, which was a holy living nightmare like I never imagined was possible. But it was, so, everything's dead. But it would sure be helpful to look at my window and hear a rooster cock-a-doodle-doo to wake me up, and let my girls go back into the 4-H, love on them, leash them, and walk them. But that is that. Getting upset because of what they've done and the rights I think I should have, but I don't. And a court system thus far who has been absolutely unjust. So let's hope federal court is better. And I'm not going to let me take. They're just not going to come down. I'm not going to let them do that. So by doing this federal case, if I win it, or even partial, or there's some circumstances, that alone might actually get rid of them, or minimally make them change policies to a presumptive test. If the birds are good, leave us alone. not this hop, skip, jump, one house, that house is okay, this house isn't, blah, blah, blah. They need to fix their protocol, and I have their log sheet that they use my videos to train their people, which is a little bit of a copyright situation, so we'll see where that goes. But I don't work for them. It's not my job to train them. They should have known this. But yet, relying on my videos, and what that has completely showed to me is these 2-day temps they hired had zero experience of birds. From holding them correctly, to naming off the breed of the bird, gun unattended, killed at wrong house, refused to give people third-party ID or third-party information that was in their language. And that's the shit I intend to fix, because none of us deserved any of this. We're not criminals. I don't know why these idiots aren't going out and trying to find criminals who are actually criminals. But no, we're going after chickens on a disease that isn't fatal to human, and to this day, we've never seen one written conclusive test result. So, go figure. So, I'm going to put this on a YouTube. If you want to copy and paste it and keep it in your phone, just in case these fools show up. Forget when they're going to show up at your house. As usual, I will never ask who you voted for. I don't care how much money you make. But if they screw with you guys, I am totally all there, even if it's just a Kleenex to wipe your tears away, on the good thing of that. Next thing, off topic, because I feel like my home is under duress, I just recently got several flags that I'm going to hang over my fence because it's a very visible area, and I think what I'm going to do is hang them upside down, which is an international sign of duress. Because to be quite honest, my family lives in duress. So, there's only military people on here. I in no way, I'm trying to, disrespect your services for this country. That's not it. What it's about. If anything, it's about many people have fought a lot of wars to give us freedom. And those same people, we only have freedom to do what the government says we can. And that's not okay either. So, hanging up on this situation, again, if you want to sell anything, your coops or whatever, if you are MPI or a breeder who is super smart, real smart, and we get new people asking questions, by all means, help these people out. Poultry ownership is super fun. It's a great hobby. It's very relaxing. So, help these folks out. Again, look on Facebook and just make sure that if you are offering anything for sale, I've seen some pages that do rehoming with a donation, if you would. That may work. But, you're welcome to sell on the page. I'm just kind of going to open up to everything. And no, please don't put your pot sales, your paraphernalia sales, your undergarments, or anything of that nature. I also think other animals that may get hit, mention those too. And that way we can keep an eye on what these jerk-offs are doing. I'll roll my mothership and see if they're starting to pack up and get out of town. I mean, the sooner the better. So, that's my little rant for this morning. And, we'll see. Oh, I see Jim. Jim, you know what? California is, I almost think it's beyond repair. I don't know how we got this governor in there that is making these outrageous situations. All I can tell you is vote differently next time. Democrat, Republican, liberal, someone in the middle. I don't give a shit who you vote for. but I will, or someone will come to aid you and walk you through any of it. If you do opt for a consensual testing, please, please, please make sure you have your video rolling at all time. If you are afraid to do so, myself or one of the gals will come out and help you out with that. So, anyway, have a good day. Looks like it's kind of nice out. And chat soon. Take care, guys.